there, welcome to Secret Men's Business. My name is Steve Tague from Rock Hard Fitness, and I will be delivering bodyweight exercises on a regular basis to give you some inspiration and some ideas on how you can train outdoors or indoors without any equipment or very little equipment at all. Today I'll be focusing on the push-up. I feel the push-up is probably, out of all the bodyweight exercises, probably the most important for upper body strength, but it also does help with the core as well. The reason I'm such a fan of bodyweight is because it basically can be done anywhere at any time, so you're not restricted with finances if you can't afford equipment or gym memberships. Now, you're also not restricted to times of the day. You can do it anytime and pretty much any location, so that's why I'm a really big fan and a proponent for bodyweight exercises. You can also ramp up your heart rate using cardio exercises, and you can build up your strength to not to the same degree as you can with weights, but you certainly can tone up and build a good level of strength just using your body weight. A couple of caveats for today with the push-up. There's a few things that you really do need to be mindful of, and I'll go through those clearly. I'll also look at some regressions for those that aren't quite ready to do push-ups, and I'll do some progressions if you're got it completely under control and you want to start to bring it up to the next level. When we look at exercises and what we're about to do, it's a good idea to get your body prepared before you start training. So I always warm up my guys outdoors when I'm doing boot camps or PT. And it's a good idea, and I recommend you do as well. So today we're going to be working largely our shoulders, a bit of arms and core in doing the push-up. So those are the areas that we should focus on. So the shoulders, to start to do a few little shoulder shrugs, going one way and then the other. Make sure we get some blood flowing throughout that area. Full rotations of the arms, and back the other way. Chopping across. This is an abridged version. You probably want to spend about 3 to 5 minutes doing this. I'm just giving you some ideas on how you can warm up. Alternating arms. It's a good idea to warm up the wrists as well, so some circles with the hands, warming up the wrists, putting a bit of pressure on, so weight into your hands, getting a bit of a stretch in your wrists. The other way, a bit more, stretching out the forearms a little, and even looking at going the other way, so just putting a bit of pressure on the back of the hands as well, elbows. And a couple of things that we need to do when we're doing push-ups is we need to have our hips extended and locked into that position. You want to have your core switched on. You want to have a nice straight line throughout the body. And you want the humerus bone, this bone, to be at about a 45-degree angle from the body. So if I turn around, you don't want your arms flaring out like that when you're doing the push-up. You want to bring them down to about 45-degree angle from your torso, or even more. But when you do that, be mindful when you come in from that 45-degree angle closer to the body, you will be loading up the triceps a bit more, and some of you might struggle with that, and that's why a lot of people do that flaring. The problem with flaring your elbows when you're doing a push-up is you're really putting tremendous strain on your shoulders, and it might not bite you straight away. It might not bite you for 6 months, 12 months, or a couple of years, but eventually you'll wear that joint out and it won't be good. So just keep that in mind, and you'll keep good shoulder health throughout your life. So one of the options that we have as a regression to the proper push-up is to start on your knees. I'm not a massive fan of it because it doesn't really allow for your body to adapt to all of the stresses of being in that prone position or the plank position. But it is an option, and I'll go through it. With all of the variations to the push-up, like I said earlier though, you do want to have your hips extended and locked. You want to have your core switched on. You want to have your arms at that 45-degree angle. Now, the other thing I didn't mention was you want to have your hands underneath your shoulder joint. So I'll get into position. I'll lock my hips on. And I'm going to keep my elbows at that 45-degree angle like I discussed. Core switched on, all the way down, all the way up to lock out at the top. So locking up those elbows. Probably want to do a set range of about 5 to 8 reps and about 3 to 5 sets. That's the push up from your knees. So a far better option in my opinion is to elevate the surface that you work from when you're doing the push up as a regression. Now the height of that will be determined by your level of strength. You can do it from a wall. I'm going to do it from the fence to start with as a demonstration, and then I'll do it from a lower surface being a bench, just to show you how to integrate the whole principle of the push-up, but just at a different level. So we'll do it from the fence. I want to get myself into the right position, hips locked on, descend down to the surface, and then fully extend at the top. Keeping a nice straight line through my body, not allowing my hips to sag forward, and nor do I have my bum up in the air, just a nice straight line. So once you've mastered those regressions and you're ready to move on, we can look at working on a level surface on the ground, and that will look like this. I like to keep my feet together, but if you want a bit more stability, bring your feet apart. Your whole body should come down in unison. So my chest and belly and hips all come down together. And I've still got my arms at about that 45-degree angle. So once we've mastered the push-up and we're ready to move on to a progression, we want to elevate our feet, which puts more pressure or tension on that upper body. So I'm going to use this bench here to put my feet on, get myself into position, and perform some push-ups. Make sure both feet are on there nice and safe. You want to have your hands in a little bit lower in this instance, and still have that same angle and still have your hips extended and core locked on. And that's it for the push-up. Thank you very much. See you next time.